Alright gamers, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to have the first episode of a little mini-series breaking down competitive play in Rainbow Six Siege. So, like I just said, this is the first episode in a little mini-series. Today we're going to be doing a general breakdown of all the roles in a team, and then later we'll also be doing, later in the series we'll do full-on like in-depth breakdowns of the roles, how to find a team, how to make strats, how to play with a team, pretty much everything. So getting into a brief breakdown of all the roles, usually a standard attack setup for a team would have 2 entries, 2 support players, and 1 flex. But for picking your operators, for making your strats, you have to understand the meta, which is basically what most people are doing, what is the most effective way right now for like how the game's being played, pretty much. So right now the meta is lots of utility and lots of intel. So knowing that, the defenders will probably be bringing these operators, so your attack operators want to counter the possible meta. So for your entries, Zofia is really good. Entry is your player that gets in the building first, has the best gun skill, and goes for the kills. So Zofia and Ash. So for example, just backing up, utility is stuff like shields. It's like Maestro cams, Wamai discs, Jaeger ADSs, things like that. So Zofia and Ash with their impacts and breaching rounds can break shields, can break Maestros. They both have other projectiles to burn Wamais and Jaeger devices. Other entries are Sledge, who can also break shields, Maestros, stuff like that. Buck, just because he can make lots of lines of sight and has flashes to burn the Wamai and ADS. And then Jackal, because he can track the roamers and then go hunt them down. So like I said, these characters, whoever's playing this on your team will most likely have the best aim. And it's not just about getting kills. Like Zofia and Ash, their primary focus is to first get in the building, establish some control of an area, and then once you control that area, you want to move through and clear utility pretty methodically and try and just clear the utility to get to site. For the support players, there's a hard support and then a soft support. The soft support will primarily always be on Thatcher to help the hard support, who takes the most prominent hard breach at the moment. So let's say those hard breaches are obviously Hibana, Maverick, Thermite, and then next season, because right now Ace just came out, so he'll be available to play competitively next season, Ace. So let's say Thermite's banned, you play Hibana. If both of them are banned, you'll play Maverick, and then your Thatcher will pretty much always be your Thatcher, just to help you get the wall with Thermite, help with Hibana, help with Maverick, help with Ace eventually. That's pretty much all your support will do. And then Flex can literally, their whole thing, Flex, flexible, be able to play every operator. That's what I played when I played competitively. You do lots of flank watch. So I played lots of Gridlock and Nomad, who are pretty good operators. Cappy Tau. Literally, like I've said, any operator that's possible. Usually it's either going to be flank watch, some type of utility, or a secondary hard breach. So let's say you're attacking basement on Clubhouse. You would want a Thermite to open dirt and open church wall, and then a Hibana to open up the hatches. So your hard breach would play the Thermite or Hibana, and then the Flex would play the other one. So for this example, let's say the hard breach is Thermite, the Flex would play Hibana. And then along with Flex, like I said, they play utility like Cappy Tau to help execute on the site. Smokes and fires are very strong, or flank watch. But then they can also play entry. So they could play a Buck, a Sledge. I forgot to put IQ as entry, just because she's the best gun in the game and can scan utility to destroy. And then Flex could, I guess, also play Monty, if that's what your team wants, or Ying. The operators I haven't highlighted are pretty much pointless in most of the, or not used a lot. Lion is very situational, same with Dokkaebi, so I'm not going to really highlight them. But this is just a general breakdown for the attack operators. Your support is to help your team open the site. Usually the support will plant. Thermite will usually have the diffuser. Your entries get in the building first, establish some initial control, clear out the roamers, and get those early kills. And then your flex plays whatever else your team needs to hold the composition together, whether it be Nomad Gridlock, Capitao, a secondary hard breach, Buck Sledge. When I was the most previous team I was on, we had a designated Zofia as our entry and a designated IQ as our second entry. Our support usually played obviously our Thermite, and then also we had a second support that played Thatcher. I played Flex. I mainly would play Buck a lot because we played Coastline a lot, and Buck is really strong on that map. So I play Buck, and I'd also mainly play Nomad. So those are the operators for attack, just a quick general breakdown. And now moving to defense, the operators don't really carry the same, like the roles. You would most likely have, you most likely have one hard roamer, one smoke player, one anti-breach, and then 2 meta operators. So this is more of a traditional setup. You can obviously use whatever the team wants for a strategy. Let's say your strategy doesn't, let's say you're playing Coastline. Coastline doesn't have any walls that are breached, or they don't have a lot of walls that are breached. So you wouldn't play an anti-breach, you could play a third meta operator. It really just depends what your strat is. But for this example, we're gonna go with a standard setup. You can always just play 5 meta operators, which I've seen a lot recently, especially in, honestly, like, not as advanced competitive play, just because it's pretty easy. Because right now the meta is a 20-second meta, where you play so much utility, the attackers, once they clear all of it, only have 20 seconds to plant and execute onto the site. But anyways, so your hard roamer usually would be like a 3-speed. I think the best roamers are Vigil and then Mozzie. I know Mozzie's not a 3-speed, but just the fact that they cannot be droned is what makes them very strong. Of course, this would be like your Ashe or your Zofia, so the roles kind of carry a little bit. This would be your best gun skill player. Also Jaeger, because even though he's a 2-speed, he's kind of like a 1.5 speed, to be honest. Your smoke player, obviously just gonna play smoke. This is what I mainly played. I would play Flex on attack, then smoke on defense. Your anti-breach plays Cade. I would kind of play Cade as well. It really just depends. Like certain roles will swap for certain sites. Like I play Cade a good amount, and then I'd also play smoke a lot. So these would be like your anti-breach, the only operators that stop them from breaching. Your roamers, mainly these two are the Vigil and Mozzie are the best because they can't be droned, and then Jaeger is just pretty standard for roaming. And then your 2 meta operators that you could play are pretty much just utility, honestly. So Wamai's good, Goyo's good, Maestro. These are kind of like your flex / support as well. Valkyrie. So in the utility and intel, it's gonna be all of these guys: Mira, Legion, Valk, pretty much everybody, all the FBI agents. This is kind of it, because Wamai, Goyo, Maestro, Castle are all utility, and then Pulse, Maestro, Echo, Mira, Legion are intel. So, oh, and Valk, of course. So this is kind of just a basic setup for defense. You can, of course, have this setup, but like I said, if you're on Coastline or a map that doesn't require a lot of hard breach, you could substitute. So let's say you have a Vigil, you have a smoke, you don't need an anti-breach, so you bring a Jaeger, a Wamai, and a Maestro. Or let's say you just bring a Jaeger and then Castle and Maestro. The meta operators are really strat dependent and very rotationable for what the site picks, what the site needs. Melusi will obviously be one once she comes out for competitive play. But people like Clash, they're very strong, very situational. Same with Warden. Like if they're abusing Ying, a Warden pick's not bad. Doc and Rook are good on certain sites, but your ACOG would mainly be your Echo or maybe even Cade or Goyo on the TCSG. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too in depth here. I will be making full breakdowns on the operators and roles, so make sure you subscribe to not miss any of those. I already have a breakdown, a guide, I guess you could say, on for Mira, Smoke, and then Maverick, and then I plan on making more. So in the comments, leave any operators or ideas you'd like to see. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. I stream every day, link in description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.